What do all of these giant corporations have in common? Accenture, Halliburton, Citigroup, General Electric, Deutsche Bank, Wells Fargo, PepsiCo, ING Group, Rolls-Royce, and Hershey. All of these companies are guided by one of the Big Four. Who are the Big Four? They are the four largest accounting firms in the world. And with more than 200,000 employees and 155 offices worldwide, KPMG is one of the Big Four. And KPMG audits and protects all of these great companies, which now includes Endotech and Daisy. Endotech and Daisy, associated with the best worldwide. The future is now.
Well, thank you so much for joining us on this Daisy presentation. Daisy is a phenomenal project. Daisy standing for Decentralized AI System. And these new words in our vocabulary, decentralized, blockchain, Bitcoin, smart contract, all of these new words, crowdfunding, I mean, it's really getting very, very popular today. And the Daisy project was a dream of this lady's, Dr. Anna Becker. She thought of this, well, about 20 years ago. And way back then, she was very interested in AI, artificial intelligence. In fact, she's actually a world leader in AI. She's probably one of the top 4 in the world. And she's been studying it. She's got a PhD in it. And she started applying this machine learning, these algorithms that she created for certain clients. She operates normally for the banks. She operates for hedge funds, for pension funds. She really deals with the high net worth individuals and not very often little people like myself. She's more interested in the big clients, but she was approached about 6 months ago about bringing her technology to everybody, to allow us all to benefit. And I'm delighted that this arrangement has been created because it gives people like you and me and our friends a chance to enjoy the benefits of very, very successful institutional trading. Now, Dr. Anna Becker has $1 billion under management. So she's no stranger to having a lot of money, but it's not her money. It belongs to her clients, to the banks, to the funds. So when you do some homework on Endotech, you'll find that she is also listed on Gemini.com. Now, what is Gemini.com? Go and Google it. Gemini.com is owned by the Winklevoss twins. These are 2 brothers from the United States. They are billionaires. They're very well renowned. They were around at the beginning of Facebook. They were around at the beginning of Bitcoin. In fact, I believe that the Winklevoss twins bought $11 million of Bitcoin in 2013. Imagine having the vision to do that. And we learned that world leaders today, like Elon Musk, just last week bought 1.5 billion. Well, I can tell you, he's late to the party. When the Winklevoss twins did this, like $11 million way back then, wow, that is some vision. Now, this is their website, Gemini.com, but when you go to their website and scroll across to institutions and scroll down, do you see Endotech here? That means they are endorsing Endotech. And if it's good enough for them, well, then it must be good enough for us. And not only is it branded here on their website alongside, for instance, the Oppenheimer Fund. Go Google the Oppenheimer Fund. Do you see how much money's in that? This is a great endorsement. This is a great recognition for Endotech. Yes, the lady we're looking at, the CEO and founder of Endotech, is on the Winklevoss site. And what that means essentially is this, that this site and these owners are telling their customers, why not use Endotech AI for your financial technology, because they have this great robotic algorithms that can get your money to work for you. That's what the endorsement is. And this is not an advertisement, ladies and gentlemen, because when you click on this on the live website, it's hyperlinked, it's coded into the website. It hyperlinks you straight back to Endotech's website, and very, very, very impressive. Now, I want to show you some of the results that Endotech have been having just before Daisy. This account was set up last September, so it's not anything to do with Daisy. It is to do with Endotech, Endotech Trading. In fact, a friend of mine owns this account, and he allowed me access, and he made about 300% using Endotech. So that was an external endorsement. And of course, past performance is not indicative of what they're going to do in the future, but it gives you a little indication of what is possible. So what I want to tell you now is I'm going to show you some of the real Daisy accounts, and these are live right here and right now. Because Daisy did a soft launch about a month ago. They did a soft launch to start testing the interfaces to start get the trading working, and of course they were inundated with applications. Would you believe it that Daisy had 52,000 applications in the first 4 days? 52,000 applications from people like me and you wanting to get onto the platform. And of course, there was over $50 million of revenue raised for the Daisy Fund. Now, their goal is to raise 500 million, so they did 50 million in 4 days. And this is what we call a tier one contributor. It's a very small contribution. It's a $100 contribution. Only $50 goes trading, but this client earned $9, not a lot of money, but it's 18%, ladies and gentlemen, in its first 2 weeks. This account was live on the 1st of February. If you look in the bottom right, this was the 15th of February that I took this data. So 18% in 2 weeks is spectacular. You tell me anybody in real estate that can get 18% in 2 weeks. Guys, if you get 10% in a year, you're very good at real estate. If you're involved in the gold markets or the precious metals, I'm very familiar with that market, you'd expect to do about 10% in a year. Guys, even though it's only $50, 18% is relative. Because if it was $100, it would still be 18%. If it was $1,000, it would be 18%. If it was $100,000, it would still be 18%. That's the reflection. So you can start with as little as $100 contribution or more, and there's a variety of tiers. This is a different example. This client has $6,300 in trading. But guess what? On the same date, the 15th of February, this client had $7,400 in their account. So after just 2 weeks, they had $1,100 profit. And the good news is you're able to remove the profits. You can press a button and withdraw the profits. That's the idea. Or you can leave to compound. You can use the principal and the profit to make you even more money. But 18%, 2 weeks, wow, very, very impressive. So this is not hypothetical, guys. This is real, and this is happening today. And I call it passive trading rewards. What do I mean by passive? I mean, you don't necessarily need to get up out of bed in the morning to make this money. You don't have to travel to work and spend 8 hours a day, 5 or 6 days a week working to make this money. No, this is your money working for you without you having to go out and face the market, without you having to lift a hand, without you having to pay gas fees, insurance, deliveries. There's absolutely passive trading rewards gained by the Daisy project, and that's a tier 7 contribution. I'd like to show you a tier 10 contribution. Tier 10 contributor in the first 4 days, because it started on the 1st of February, the trading went into activation. They did a little bit of trading on the 21st of January. Then they started to place the rest of the funds in the market on the 1st of February. But this account had earned $1,800 in its first 4 days. The next day on the 5th, it earned $2,500. Now that's not 18 plus 2.5. That's the total. The total is $2,500. So it actually grew by, let's call it 700 or 800 overnight. Okay. The next day on the 6th of February, look at the bottom right, 6th of February coming up. Here we go, $4,500. Now imagine making $4,500 without getting out of bed passively. Is that a good place to be? Would that get rid of some headaches? Would that chase the debt away? Would that pay the mortgage? Would that feed the kids? Would that put a roof over your head? Would that clothe you? $4,500 passive in 6 days. Let's look at day 7. Well, day 7, unfortunately, I didn't take a screenshot. But on day 8, I did. And on day 8, it was $8,000. So we were looking at 8 days, 8,000. Look at that, 11% in 8 days. You tell me where you can get that reliable. You can tell me where you get that honestly. And these trades are going to be vetted and verified by none other than KPMG, the top 4 accountancy firm in the world. At the end of each month, they will go in, they will check all the trades, they will look at the wins, they will look at the losers, they will look at the percentage gains, they will edit and check the accounts on behalf of our community. KPMG do not work for Endotech. They work for you and for me and for the crowd fund, for the community that's doing this. And this gives us confidence, ladies and gentlemen. Now, that was the 8th. What happened on day 9? Day 9, it grew to $10,000, but that was at 3 in the afternoon. 1,500 hours. What happened the same day, 9th of February, at 11:38 in the evening, just before bedtime, the account had grown to $11,800. That's 9 days, $11,000. Who wants an account like this? Who's up for an account like this? Getting an account like this is nothing more than a choice. Getting an account like this is nothing more than a decision on your behalf. Let's look at day 10. Day 10, $12,000. Day 11, have a look at this. 4 o'clock in the afternoon, $13,000 in 11 days. Do I need to show you any more? I've showed you a small account, a mid-range account, and a top account. The decision is down to you. If you'd like to join the Daisy community, if you'd like to contribute to this AI, AI is a very, very special subject. It's always under development, no different than your smartphone. The smartphone you have today is not the smartphone you had 2 years ago. The camera has improved, the battery life has improved, the screen has improved, the RAM, the ROM, the speed of the chips, the amount of the storage. It's always progressing. It's always a moving target. Same with AI. If you would like to contribute to the new age and the new development of AI, you might consider making a contribution to this Daisy project. That's what's on the table. That's what's on offer. I want to tell you about the roadmap. She's been in this industry for about 20 years. She specialized in Forex, foreign exchange, for many of those years. She wrote programs and algorithms for various clients, including MF Global, Dragon Holdings. She would negotiate or sit down and analyze with various customers what their level of risk is, what they'd like to achieve, the term, etc. And she would design an algorithm that would suit what the client wanted. So she was specialist in creating these robotics or these algorithms that work on your account. So in 2012, she then created the Endotech brand. And I think somebody else took the .com before she got it. She's gone with Endotech.io. She got that in 2018. She had the company valued in November last year at $100 million. Now that's long before we started. It was already worth $100 million. And she's offered this community 10% equity in her company. 10%. So if we can help build not only the value of the company, we're helping ourselves because there's equity at stake here. And no different than crowdfunding any project. Crowdfunding, I'm sure you're quite familiar with. There's ultimate websites there, you go on to it, GoFundMe and many, many others. Very, very famous crowdfunding platforms where you might see a project that you like and you would contribute, or maybe there's an idea, or maybe it's a charitable thing that you wanted to do. Now, a charitable thing is more or less a donation. That's not what we're doing. We're not donating, we're contributing. And for that contribution, we get something back. And that's very often stock in the company or the business that you're crowdfunding, or possibly they might give you their product at a cost price or something like that, instead of paying the retail price. Imagine you got involved in a crowdfund in the very early days. Well, you're getting the benefit of the product when it is manufactured, let's say at cost price, rather than paying the full retail. That might be a benefit of a particular crowdfund. So if you go study that, go do some homework on crowdfunding, and then you'll understand how this model works, because what you're doing here is you're making a contribution to the next phase of the Daisy AI, decentralized AI systems. And as she develops this technology, she might sell this. She'll sell this to a client in 3 or 4 years once she's really got this Daisy AI software up to what she believes is her best possibility. She believes that the development of AI is just going to improve and improve and improve. I remember when I was young, there was a famous program called Star Trek, and it was amazing that when the guys walked up to the doors, these automatic doors open, and we thought that was so cool that he just walked towards the door and the door moved. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the story goes there was 2 people behind those doors. You couldn't see them from the camera shoot that was on Star Trek, but it was actually 2 people pulling the doors open. It wasn't even electronic. And that was the vision of Star Trek back then. And she knows that with everything developing, the Daisy AI is going to be even better than the results she's getting today. And her goal is to raise 500 million. Now, you might say that's a big number. Well, no, she's already got double that. She already has $1 billion. She's already got 1 billion under management. 500 million is just half of what she's already had. And that's been assigned to us as a team to go develop the crowd, bring in the revenue, for the contributions needed for development of AI. She's going to give us trading rewards. I've showed you those rewards. You're getting these rewards and you're getting stock or equity in the company. And once they've got the Daisy 1 complete, they will start and develop a new robotic trading algorithm for Forex. So you could be involved with that later on. And then after that, they can go probably into the stocks or into commodities or precious metals. You know, there's no end to what we can do.